Roland Willits, Old Men's Story. Visiting my new friend, Angie Senger.
Roland Willits, Old Men's Stories. I'm here with Angie. It's always just been Angie. What is your last name?
Singer.
Singer. Oh, wow! Oh, man!
As in la la la, not the sewing machine.
Oh, what? Yes, la la la. I love it. I should have seen it on. You had this big thing right on the side of the house too, and I didn't. Mr. Observer. And Angie was born singing.
No, actually, that's a story too.
Tell me.
My mother tells a story when I was the youngest of 7, and so she had a lot to do. And I was, honest to God, she tells this story to everybody. I was in my crib, down the hall in the bedroom, and I was taking a nap, and she'd be in the kitchen making lunch, doing dishes, what mommies do. And I would wake up, and I'd be in my crib, and she could hear me going, "Mommy," and she would say, "Angie," and I'd say, "Mommy," and she'd say, "Angie," and I'd say, "Mommy," and she could do that back and forth and keep me there, keep me interested, and just by mimicking her. So that was my early singing career.
Wow. That's too bad.
I think that's a nice story.
It's a wonderful story.
Nice memory that I don't have.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we have it recorded once. Angie has been singing since her first year of birth. And formally, she started when you were how old?
Professionally, when I was 15. That's my first gig with a paying gig with a rock and roll thing was when I was 15. And I've been pretty much going ever since then.
That was in Minnesota, right?
Yes, in Minnesota. New Brighton, Minnesota, at the teen center. Yeah. With some boys from school, and they had a band. And I was babysitting that's another story. I was babysitting with my cousin, and the band was practicing in the basement, and their bass player didn't show up. And I had been playing guitar. I was 15 then. I had been playing the guitar for 5-6 years by then. I was old hat. And their bass player didn't show up. And we were sitting on the steps, on the basement steps, listening. And there was the bass guitar just sitting there, and they were practicing. And I thought, well, how hard can it be to play bass? So I went and picked up the bass guitar and just played along with them the rest of the night. And from then on, I was in their band. And I was a little upset that I had to play bass because I liked playing the guitar.
Right.
But from then on, I was a bass guitar player.
Oh.
So I was a bass guitar player. Made my living with my bass guitar for a lot of years.
Bass guitar is different from a regular guitar. Oh.
Well, it has just the 4 biggest strings. And it basically keeps the rhythm and
Almost like a drum.
yeah, kind of. It keeps the timing, and it leads everybody to where they're going to go to the next chord. It just kind of leads in and ties everything together.
I have one of those. My son went over to England and left his guitar. It's this guitar with 4 strings on it. It's got an amplifier. Do you have amplifiers? They're 4 strings guitars without the amplifier.
There are, but those are called doghouse bass. They got to have a big body in order to get that low sound out there so that you can hear it.
And you sing to a bass guitar, right? Or you sing to a regular guitar?
No, you sing to the regular guitar.
So you also play a regular guitar when you sing?
Yes, when I sing by myself, yeah, I play the 6 string. Now I play rhythm guitar more than I play bass.
Okay.
No.
So I just got a call from the music store, and you spend a lot of time in music stores over your life, haven't you?
Well, a fair amount. I like to go in them, like I was telling Ron the other day, I like to go into Milano's, downtown Mesa, just to breathe. like a lot of musicians do. You just go in there and you open the door and you go, the mothership has called me home. It's got everything in there. You can just touch and see everything. It's wonderful. It just makes me smile. It's my happy place.
That is wonderful. And you played and wrote songs, right?
I've always written songs. I've always written music. I've always written music. Ever since I found you could. And I remember that distinctly from second grade. Sister Mary Catherine in second grade. And I remember she passed out the music books, hardcover music books. We each got one. And it was the first brand spanking new book I think I ever saw, probably. And we each got one. And then she took that gizmo from the front that had the little wires on it, and she put a little piece of chalk in each of the 5 little things on the end, and she drew a staff on the blackboard. And then she drew notes, and probably a treble clef, and a few notes, and then she went to the piano and played those notes. And as soon as I made that correlation, I remember yelling out, "You mean you can read it?" It was amazing to me, and I was in second grade. It was early on in second grade, and I started when I was 4, so I was 6. I was 6 years old. And I got in trouble one day because I took that book home. We were supposed to leave it in class, but I wanted to take it home and be with my book all the time so I could read that music. So since then, yeah, I've been writing songs ever since I found out that you could.
That is so wonderful. And you know, I like country. You and I are in the country now.
Yes, now. Mm-hmm.
And since, pretty much, a lot of people, it's an older person's area for a lot of people. But at Paducah, Kentucky, it's for all people are country there.
Well, because I think country music, from what I've seen and learned, is about the stories of life. It's about the stories of life. And that can encompass any age and any occupation and wherever you are, any incident. You can tell the story and make it a country song. It's just about stories of life. So it can be for any age, any walk of life.
Well, it sure fits into old man's story. And, it's up to now, my first 6 months, I had more women speakers than men. Then I found, I remember I told you I had old women's stories.
Nobody wanted to come.
No buyers.
I can understand that totally. I wouldn't want to either.
You were telling me about writing songs, on a strike, when you were a bunch of strikers, and you were sitting there writing a song for them to sing.
Well, my husband's a truck driver, and he was a teamster. He was a good teamster. And there's strikes that happen in the trucking industry, and this happened to be a march on the state capitol in St. Paul, Minnesota, and they were gathering hundreds and hundreds of people gathering for a rally before the march would happen. And we went down there, and I didn't even remember this until we were talking earlier. But yeah, we had gone down there, my husband and I, and to take part in the rally, and I had written a couple of rallying songs and brought my guitar and got up on the flatbed trailer, and I ran off a whole bunch. And back then, this was in the 70s, and you didn't have copy machines in the house like you do now. I mean, I don't even remember how I made copies, where I went to make them. There wasn't a Staples or anything then. I don't know what I did. But I know I had copies and handed a bunch of copies.
Machines.
I think maybe I used a mimeograph machine somewhere. Maybe I did. Maybe it was that purple ink. Maybe it was. Handed them out to everybody, and then got the crowd going, and we all were singing these strike songs.
Wow.
I wonder if I still have them.
And you played the regular guitar to that, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And my 6-string.
How many other instruments do you play?
My band, my bass guitar, 6-string guitar, mandolin. I used to play the banjo pretty well until it got stolen, and I gave that up. Never had another one. So just that. Mandolin and guitar.
Oh, when do you play the mandolin?
When I get an opportunity.
Oh, you got to get a rental or?
No, I have my own. But most of the time, I'm playing my 6-string, and I could change back and forth because you need the rhythm guitar.
Yeah, I never looked. Do you have an acoustic or a?
Yes.
So you don't.
Mandolin?
No, guitar.
Oh, I have both.
They have both. So you have more than one guitar.
Yes. But I'm not like the boys. Boys have lots of guitars, and they like to talk about all their guitars. And they'll bring a new guitar, and they'll look at my new guitar and talk all about their new guitar. And I tell them, I'm a girl. Talk to me about shoes. I don't want to talk about another guitar. It's got 6 strings. What more do I need to know?
That's right. I got to play it. Well, that is. I thought you would talk about guitars too, but you don't. That's new information for me.
They got strings on them, and they make noise, and
you can sing to them.
Yeah.
It's singing.
That's all you need to know. Now, shoes is another story.
You can have little bells on your shoes.
You could, absolutely.
I've seen people with little bells on their shoes.
Bells on your guitar would probably be interfering with your tone.
That's true. That would stop you a little.
I think they have different keys for the different.
Oh,
Does that fit in with your old men's stories? That would be the old women's stories.
Yeah, it would be well. First of all, old men's stories. It's like what I found out is I have old men's stories, so old women like to tell stories because men don't do it right. Well, let me tell you what really happened.
That's right. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I always have a lot of ladies, and by the way, men is generic, meaning human. So it's all men and women and kids. My granddaughter does on the show a lot, and my great granddaughters are on the show a lot, and my daughter's she's on the show. So there's a lot of women that are on the show. So we bring in women if I can find one. Someone said something.
If I can find one.
Oh no, if I can find a word, I would use. I would, a female word that worked. Someone said, well, you could have like old, not ladies, but old.
Careful now.
Yeah, well, those still witches, but that.
Take it back. Take it back. Grab it back.
So, right now we're in Mesa, and you belong to a whole. You're just so busy.
I'm really busy when we're down here for the winter. Very busy. Yeah, this is our busy time. When we get back to Minnesota, people always say, well, how did you like your vacation? And my husband and I look at him and say, vacation? What vacation? Now we're on vacation. We go back home to go on vacation. We take it easy when we get back there. But down here, we're very, very busy.
So you're at a lot of musical things.
I have a band down here, and we play at a lot of dances. And in between, I go to a lot of the jam sessions because that's just how much fun can you have in the middle of the day for nothing anyway.
That's right.
Oh, it's just too much fun. So we do that, and then I didn't think I was busy enough, so this year I started a girl band. Oh, what a hoot is that? That would be good for your old women stories. But we just have a great time. And I did that because I found a fabulous female pedal steel guitar player.
Oh.
And I said, man, what are you doing just sitting there not playing everywhere? So I thought we need to get a band together. So I have a great fiddle player and a great pedal steel player, and a bass player, and a good rhythm player, and then I play my mandolin.
Wow, how many of them sing?
All of them. We all sing. So there's lots of harmony, lots of singing, lots of styles. And we all do country, but different styles. You know, the rockabilly, straight up country, swing. Each of them has their own style, and it's just awesome. I just love it.
That's wonderful. So we're having a ball here. It's my first interview with Angie, and I'm sure I'm going to have more because she's already bought into OMS Stories and Kentucky Opry and Kentucky Jazz.
Yeah.
We're going to play really well at that.
I think so.
So see, Angie Senger, All Men's Stories.
Angie Senger,
All
Men's Stories.
All men's stories. One more day listening to beautiful music by Angie.